skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay. Rise and shine, it's your time. Skill up, raise the climb. Navigate, innovate. It's your fate, don't be late. Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay.
If you're a new manager or hoping to be a new manager, join us in our exploration into what managers need to know. This program will set you up for success by building your knowledge and confidence in the skills you need to be effective. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Today we are looking at change management, and it's our fourth session of a 5-session series. In the first session, we looked at what effective change management involves. In the second, we've started to look at the 8 steps involved in effective change management. First, to assess the needs, then analyze probable reactions, prepare plans, and make a decision. And today we're looking at establishing a timetable and communicating about the change. We move here. So first, step 5, establish a timetable. If it is a coerced timetable, a coerced change, then that's fast and it's maintained only as long as the leader has power to enforce it. It often results in animosity, hostility, and overt or covert behavior to undermine and overthrow it. So it's not ideal by any means. A participative cycle is slow and evolutionary, but it tends to be long-lasting since the people are highly committed to the change because they have bought in, they have been involved in deciding what the change is or how it will be implemented. Changes in behavior require time, nurturance, effort, and patience. If the change is welcome, it should be implemented with as much speed as possible. If the change is resisted, it should be implemented slowly, probably with the use of a pilot group. This must be, and step 6, communicating the change. This has to be a two-way process, telling and selling the plan as well as listening to reactions and suggestions. And I see that I don't know what it is that you see. Let me get us back. Here we go. That is why both oral and written communications may be necessary to ensure understanding, acceptance, and consistency. Let me see here. Where are we? Tell the managers first. It's terrible when they're blindsided because there's a change and they have not been notified. After telling the managers, then communicate to those who want to know as well as those who need to know. And the information should be provided as far in advance as is practical to maintain effective business operations. Don't put a change on people and expect them to react positively immediately. But it's the transition, not the change, that's the cause of resistance that we see. The change management consultant William Bridges says that it isn't the actual change that employees resist, but rather the transition that must be made to accommodate the change. And if they do not make that transition, the changes will not work. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this very well. It's the transition model, whoops, by William Bridges, and I'm going to be looking at my other screen. It begins with an ending. There's denial, shock, anger, frustration, and stress, or ambivalence. We get to a neutral zone. Then there's skepticism, acceptance, importance, hope, enthusiasm, and a new beginning. But those are a lot of different stages for people to move through emotionally and psychologically. In an organization, managing transition means helping employees to make the difficult process less painful and disruptive. It does this by answering 3 questions before introducing the change initiative. So it's important that these 3 questions be answered before you implement the change. The first 2 questions relate to the external changes taking place. And the third question relates to the internal psychological transition that the employees need to make. The first question is, what is changing and why is it happening? Employees need to know what the change is and why it's necessary. They will not buy into a change if management cannot explain it in clear and simple statements without any jargon. And he suggests that the statement should be brief, only 1 minute. So think about the changes that you have implemented or you have experienced. Has anybody been able to explain it in 1 minute? Question 2, what will actually be different because of the change? Employees need to know how the changes are going to affect their lives, their jobs, and the functions of their department, as well as the mission of the organization. Management should be able to explain in specific terms the actual differences that the changes will make in how programs and procedures operate, where staff will be located, and how functions will be organized. How is it, what's going to happen to me? That's the question. And question 3 is, who is going to lose what? Employees need to let go of their old situation before they can start something new. Management has to take the time to understand how the world looks to the employees and use that as the starting point to help them identify the losses and endings they are experiencing. Because there are many losses, whether it's a loss of status, a loss of friends, a loss of peers, a loss of responsibilities, changes that when you have to understand, when you make a change to a policy or a procedure and it's easy for the employee to think, well, I've been doing it all wrong, and feel invalidated and resistant and unhappy. So we need to be very sensitive to that. So what do we got here? Get the issues out in the open. Give employees the tools they need to move forward in a difficult time. And build trust by showing that management cares about the employees. They are not cogs in a wheel. They are not nameless entities. They are people with values and feelings and aspirations, and management needs to keep that in mind. So plan to communicate about the change. Who should receive the information? How should they receive it? Who should communicate the information? What do they need to know? What is the change? Why the change is necessary? How it will be implemented? Who will be involved in the implementation? When the implementation will take place? And what they need to know, how they will be affected, and what else may be affected. What will be done to minimize any possible adverse impacts? How will they know that the change has been implemented? How will we touch base with those affected by the change to see how it's going? How often in a change that you've experienced on the job has somebody come to say, "How's it going for you? What do you need?" Very often that doesn't happen at all, does it? Let's talk. If you would like help in implementing change, please schedule time to talk using this QR code. Change is difficult for everyone involved, the implementers and those who are affected by the implementation. Let's do our best to make it as smooth and comfortable as possible. Next week, oh dear, my computer is just not very happy. Here we go. Next week, we're going to look at the last 2 steps in the 8-step change management process: the implementation itself, and then monitoring and evaluating the change. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you so much for coming and participating in our discussion of what managers need to know. You can find the videos of this and previous sessions on my YouTube channel or under events on my LinkedIn profile. I'll look forward to seeing you again next week.
Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost. Lead the way, every day, find success, it's here to stay. Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost. Lead the way, every day, find success, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Oh, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Yeah. Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost.